Hi guys, and happy October. Yes, I know we're a little bit into October now, but hey, I do these things when I get the chance. I'm going to start inside today, which is a bit different to usual. I am going to give you the full tour of the garden as I promise to do every month. I might get there almost every month. But the reason I'm inside at the moment is because it is the season's turned. It is seed sowing time. It's also warm crop planting time outside. If you're new to this channel, my name is Christy Cooper, aka Green Thumb Reporter, also founder of Growing Healthier Futures. If you like seeing what everyone else is growing in Melbourne, Australia, or anywhere with a similar climate, you've come to the right place. Hit subscribe and follow along. Today, as I always do, I'm going to give you a full garden tour, show you everything that I'm growing here in Melbourne, Australia, everything that I am preparing to plant over the next few weeks and months, all the seeds that I am sowing, so you can grow along at home. I have had a look at the forecast for the next few weeks, and we do have one day coming up here in Melbourne where it's going to be down to 4 overnight. Now, the reason why you have to sort of wait until a certain point in time before you plant a lot of your summer crops is because a lot of them won't cope if there's any frost overnight. Now, we've had nearly no frost overnight here recently anyway, but if you've got delicate seedlings outside, then one night of frost can knock them off. So I'm not going to say go and plant everything outside at the moment, but if you're starting from seed and you've got some options, I have definitely got a lot of my warm weather stuff in the ground already. If we have a really cold frosty night, it could knock them off, but I'm quietly confident we won't. But as I always do, I succession plant, and I always plant way too many seeds, so too many seeds, so that I have got excess if anything happens to them. So today, you know what, I might start off with taking you through what I'm sowing at the moment, which seeds I have recently put in. I put some in just last night in these slightly bigger trays, things like zucchini, corn, watermelon, and cucumbers. Those seedlings can all get quite big, and therefore I've used a slightly bigger tray. You can sort of see the sizes there. And then I've got my favourite tray here where I have sown some more things a week or so ago, and you can see they're starting to poke through there. So what have I got? These are cosmos, so they're really beautiful flowers that you can see they've started to germinate. Climbing beans, probably not deep enough, and that tray is fairly small, but I think that'll be fine. Climbing beans, kangaroo paw. I haven't had a huge amount of luck yet germinating Australian natives, so if anyone's got any good tips on Australian native plants, germinating those, I'd love to hear your tips. Tomatoes in here, plum tomatoes. These were some that I saved from last year. They were really delicious. I just literally squeezed the tomato juice on a paper towel and the seeds, and then just let it dry. And once it was completely dry, I put it away with my other seeds. That's all I did. And then I put the actual bit of paper towel in there with the seed, just so that I didn't damage the seed trying to get it off. I did that last year, it worked a treat. I've also just put some sunflower seeds in there too, because my daughter was really keen to get some sunflowers growing. So that's what I have recently sown. Now, my last video, I mentioned that these were going to be available for sale soon. That was about a month ago, and I haven't yet got that link up live, despite lots of people saying that they were really interested. I'm so sorry. It's up now. It's in the description. But at this time of the year, if you're in Melbourne or anywhere with a similar climate, you can really start all warm weather veggies. Your autumn veggies are often similar to your spring veggies. Anything that requires heat to grow, now's a great time to get those seeds started. So your tomatoes, your capsicums, your peppers, your zucchinis, a great time to get those in. If you're bold, you can try putting them straight out into the ground now. But as I said, if we do get one night of frost, it could damage them. But I'm not afraid to make mistakes. But again, beauty of growing from seed, you can just start some more later. So I've shown you these little tags before. These are just that plastic strip that you find in the bins everywhere that is often used in construction to sort of tie wood together. I just cut them up and use them as plant labels. Now I have found that even the permanent marker outside does tend to wash off, so I'm still trying to work out what the perfect marker is that won't wash off, and I will let you know when I work that out. But anyone can do that, and you'll see it all over the road. It's just like littering bins everywhere. Great plant labels. And so I'll just give you a little close up there of what's happening. So if you've got any seeds that have sprouted at home, they need to get into the sun as soon as possible. I use these grow boxes, which some of you know I'm sort of working on developing the perfect system for schools and kindies. I love these grow boxes because they are an excellent way for people to learn how to grow inside. They've got grow lights there. So these were inspired by the Gatherer boxes. They're not doing these exact boxes anymore. So I am sort of working with a bunch of different local suppliers just to try and work out the best way of doing it, because they're such a great way of growing things inside and they look quite nice. The best way of doing it at the moment is sourcing everything overseas, and local manufacturing is much trickier. But I'm still in the process of trying to work it all out, because I would love to be able to do these locally rather than having to import everything from China and all that jazz. These are my succulents. So a lot of these I've just grown from a leaf like that. Some, yeah, they're virtually all from a leaf. You can see there's a little spider web in there that I was going to clear away, but then I saw that it was catching some of the fungus gnats, so I left it. Here you go. So that was a single leaf, succulent leaf, and it has now turned into that whole plant. And this one too. Now, you guys, I've spoken to you before about this amazing seed raising mix, which is becoming available. I think I said it was going to be available last month, and like everything, it's taken a bit longer. But I'm going to try and make sure it is actually available up on the website before I post this today. Now, the reason this is relevant is you can see all these little volunteers poking through. That looks like some kind of brassica. That one there, I'm quite sure is a basil. The cool thing about this seed raising mix is it is recycled. So it's the seed raising mix that is used by professionals in, huge scale nurseries, but a whole lot of it falls down off the side of the machines into, just neat little sections. And a lot of that, and none of it can actually be reused by them because it has got this seed contamination in there. So I use it all the time now. I've mixed a whole lot of extra stuff in here to make it more appropriate for succulents. But you can see these little seeds that are poking through. But it's awesome because all of these turn into herbs and veggies. They're great seeds. So I will just kind of wait and see what they turn into. And then if it's something that I want to grow, I just gently separate it and go and stick it in the garden. I'll come and show you that outside now. So see this basil, these are just little basil seedlings that popped up randomly in other things I was growing because I had that recycled seed raising mix, and I've just transplanted them and now they're growing very happy. I've got one more bit to show you in here. These. So these are a really rare type of succulent that I have grown from seed, and this is the first time I've ever grown succulents from seed, so I'm just showing you because I'm proud. These are cucamelons, which I've said in the past that I would never try to grow again, but given that I'm working with quite a number of schools and kindies now, cucamelons are a really fun one for them to grow because they can just pick and eat them. I thought I'd try one more time. I've just had a very kind delivery from the Diggers Club too. They obviously know I use my hands for everything and my nails are always looking revolting. So they have very kindly sent me some gloves, which we all know I need desperately, and these potted snips, needle nose tips for precision cuts. They also probably know that I'm often out there with normal blunt scissors, which is very offensive to a lot of gardeners, and these look amazing. So thank you to the Diggers Club. And some seeds, glass gem corn seeds and tomato tomato seeds. I was just reading before, these were apparently voted the best tasting tomatoes out of all of their tomatoes perhaps. Hold on, what does it say? Victorian garden guru Kevin Hines said it was the best he'd tasted in 50 years. There we go. I will sow some of those today too, thank you. Let's come and have a look at all the fun things that are happening over here. Here are some of those spring bulbs that I just popped in randomly all over the shop. Some of them are doing really well. Some of them are looking a bit worse for wear, a bit droopy. The kids decide that the spring bulbs are the best petals for making potions, and you can imagine that goes down really well. I'm trying to just let them enjoy the garden and not get upset about all my hard work being turned into potions, but oh well, it is what it is. So I can't even remember what most of these are called, but I'm just loving the fact that they're just popping up all over the shop and just brightening up the garden. You can see my purple sprouting broccoli is probably reaching the end of its days over here. And lettuce under there, which is getting tall and stretchy because it's not getting any sun. You can see it's sort of reaching to try and get the sun. Sorry. These lettuces on this side are looking much happier because they don't have to fight to get sun. Let's take a look at my food cubes first. That is the net that protects my food cubes from my son and my husband with the footy. They're out here with the footy and the basketball actually constantly. That's quite a good system to stop them smashing up my plants over here. Yeah, I think this one is really probably reaching the end of its days. I think I probably need to pull that one out. These are still, yeah, they seem to be flowering too quickly. So I think these are probably done. Partially in here. Now, volunteers. Volunteers. It's one of my favourite things about this time of the year is that everything just kind of knows what's meant to grow. I've got volunteered tomatoes all over the yard. And it's like, I was a bit late this year to sow my tomato seeds, but the garden was like, don't worry, gal, we got you. We're just going to poke on through. So some of those popped up elsewhere and I've moved them in here. You can see I've put this here to try and protect it from the ball. There we go. Another volunteer tomato down there. Now, exciting news on the food cube front. A lot of you guys have asked me about the food cubes before, and I've shown them to you before because I love them. They've got the water reservoir at the bottom so that I don't need to water them nearly as often and everything just keeps growing really well. They've offered me a discount code. So if you guys are interested in any of the food cube products, I'll put that discount code in the link. And they don't actually discount their food cubes to anyone, but we've obviously got a lovely relationship. And they're a really amazing company that do a lot of really good things for the environment. So these are recyclable plastic and made out of recycled plastic as well. And they're Australian made. Now, this was a volunteer tomato. And look, it's already got flowers. The garden is just doing what it wants to do. And I love that. Now, you guys might remember through here a while back, I just sprinkled seeds everywhere. They were sort of pollinator seeds. Let's come and take a close look at what's happening. I can't tell you what these all are because I can't remember, but I love just seeing all these flowers pop up. It's just a surprise what's going to come through. Oh, I think that's the Queen Anne's lace. All really good for attracting your hoverflies and your bees and your other beneficials. They do look a bit wild. I've got a whole lot of peas in here, snow peas, these ones. And some kind of self-seeded brassica through there. Potatoes through here with some flowers, because why? Follow the rules, hey, when you can be a bit random. To be fair, I didn't plant that there. That's another one that's self-seeded. I just haven't pulled it out. I probably should though, because it is preventing everything else from getting enough sun. In my glow pears down here, my strawberries are starting to get a little bit of strength and life back. So I had some lettuces in here just to use up this space before it got a bit warmer. I'll now harvest those lettuces and keep the lettuces out and let the strawberries take over. So you can see the plants are really starting to strengthen up. I just added some extra compost in there yesterday because I didn't want to have to change the whole beds over, but adding a bit of compost on top is a great way of just adding those extra nutrients after they've been eaten up by things. And you can see all these different strawberry plants starting to get a bit stronger. So that should be great come summertime. Here you go. Look, oh, there you go. They're hiding. Even got some strawberries on here. So these little glow pears are great because similar sort of thing, they're wicking, they water from the bottom up and they're tiny so that if you've only got a little balcony or whatever, you don't have to worry too much about space. They've got bigger ones as well and they just look quite nice. You water down the side there and it just waters from the bottom up. It means if you want to go away for a few days, you don't have to stress too much. I can see something in here. Hello. And I think I forgot to mention earlier, I've got peas at the back, sugar snap peas. Yum. I've got a rare moment of peace and quiet at the moment because my daughter fell asleep on the walk. So I've left her out here. We did have the blanket on her, but it's fallen off. But the poor thing has had hand, foot and mouth disease and has been so miserable. She's got those little spots all over her. It's been really, really rotten, the poor little thing. So I'm very glad that she's sleeping and I'm enjoying having some time in the garden in peace. Over here, I have been putting in a bunch of native plants recently. So these are Banksias, and I just put some lettuces in there because why not, hey? I was just curious to see if they'd grow okay. It's another native of some kind. I can't remember what that one is. And at the back here, this is also a native, it's native bush food. I can't remember what it's called. Something very, tell me guys, I can't remember. The tag's fallen off. So experimenting with native bush food for the first time here. I think there's some salvias I've put down the bottom as well. And what's going on up here? Oh, look at my sweet peas, guys. Look how beautiful these are. Well, they took quite a long time to grow, but they are now looking really, really gorgeous. I'm loving all the flowers I've got growing up here at the moment. I haven't done a check for landmines. The dog likes to come up here, so excuse me if there's anything in the background. The sorrel that keeps on growing. Lettuce is doing beautifully. You can see there's a bit of compost on the top because I came and put some extra compost through here yesterday and clearly haven't cleaned everything out properly. Look how good that lettuce is doing. Got carrots through there. These newer peas are just starting to grow through. Something's going to seed there. Oh, there you go. That's a beetroot that's going to seed. I have never actually let a beetroot go to seed before. What else have we got in here? I'm sort of starting to let this clear out a little bit so that I can put some new stuff in there soon. It'll look a bit thirsty actually. Self-seeded tomatoes at the back there. You can see they're already starting to flower. When they get a bit bigger, I will trellis them up that way for support. More beautiful flowers in the garden here. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Don't ask me what's what. Can't remember. Paper daisies. Looking a bit worse for wear because I've just cut all the flowers off and hung a whole lot out to dry inside. I've cleared this one out recently because I want to make space for planting some more stuff in there. When I say cleared it out, I haven't cleared it out entirely. There's a lettuce I need to take out there. But I'm about to redo this bed. I have to be very careful with this bed because it's my daughter's bed, and if I do anything without her permission, I get in big trouble. Celery here. Last year's capsicum plant, which is starting to regrow. You see all these. There you go. You can see all these bits are just starting to sprout again. Oh, my garlic's going over here. Oh, that looks like it's ready to go, this one. Yeah, so we've got a bit of space through here to do some more planting. My garlics, have they started to, yay, that's starting to bulb up. There you go. Not big enough to pull out yet, but it's doing the right sorts of things, so that's exciting. They were the garlic bulbs that I bought from the Flower and Garden show quite some time ago. Oh, how good are these looking? These are my lilies. Again, it was a lily bulb, or it was a plant that was sort of dying off that I rescued from the discount section at Bunnings. I let it die back naturally over the winter. Once it had completely died back, I dug up the bulb and it had started forming a whole lot of new bulbs. So I separated it out, planted them into separate things, weather warmed up, hey presto. Oh, good. Just some other seedlings in there that I'll put into the garden when the time is right, including spring onions, some other bits and pieces that I need to make sure I remember to water while they're up here, and capsicums that I started from seed a while ago. Over here, my blueberry bushes. One of them is doing quite well. No leaves, which is interesting. Just flowers, but who needs leaves when you only want the berries? And this one is not doing quite so well, so we'll see what happens there. If you want to skip ahead and see what a November garden could look like, or even a December or January garden, I have tours for every single month of the year. They're all in a playlist. I'll link below.